There comes a time in your life when you must stand before the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and declare, "This is not where my story ends." Too many people stop in the middle of the journey. Too many people lay down their dreams because it got uncomfortable, because it got hard, because it demanded more than they thought they had. But hear me now. Your life will not change until you make the decision that you will not quit, that you will not back down, that you will not surrender to fear, to doubt, or to failure. Greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It is available to anyone bold enough to claim it. But claiming it means sacrifice. It means long nights when others are sleeping, you are working. It means early mornings when others are dreaming, you are grinding. It means believing in yourself when the entire world doubts you. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing to fight for the life you deserve. Fear is the greatest thief of destiny. It robs people of opportunities, of relationships, of breakthroughs. And fear is a liar. It tells you that you're not ready, that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. But fear only has power if you bow to it. When you stand up and face it, you realize it was only smoke, only an illusion. Courage does not mean you don't feel fear. It means you feel it, and you move anyway. It means you decide that your dream is greater than your doubt. Success will never come simply because you want it. Wanting is not enough. You've got to be hungry for it. Hungry enough to sacrifice the distractions. Hungry enough to walk alone when no one else believes in you. Hungry enough to turn your pain into fuel and your setbacks into comebacks. The resources you think you need are already inside you. You just have to unlock them with discipline, determination, and relentless action. Life will test you. It will break you down, shake you, and sometimes leave you crying in the dark. But remember this, pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Every trial is shaping you for something bigger. Every setback is positioning you for a comeback. Every you hear is just pushing you closer to the yes that will change your life forever. Don't despise the struggle. The struggle is the proof that you are on the path to greatness. Your future is not written in the stars. It is written in your decisions. The world will try to convince you to play it safe, to lower your standards, to shrink your dreams. But you were not born to live small. You were not created to blend in. You were made to stand out, to rise up, to inspire, to lead, and to create a legacy that will outlive your years. So I ask you today, will you step into your destiny? Will you silence the voices of fear and doubt? Will you decide that enough is enough? That from this day forward you will fight for your dreams, for your family, for your future. Because if you do, if you truly commit, then nothing, no setback, no failure, no storm, no obstacle will be able to stop you. Greatness is born in the moments when you decide not to quit. It's not born when everything is easy, when the path is clear, when the crowd is cheering for you. It's born in the quiet hours when you're tired, frustrated, and questioning whether what you're doing even matters. Greatness grows in those moments when life says, stop, and you look back at life and say, no, I will not stop. I will keep going. You see, anyone can continue when the road is smooth, when the money is flowing, when the people around you are clapping. But the true measure of a person's character is seen in the storm, when the applause fades, when the bank account is empty, when the support disappears and still you refuse to surrender. There's a decision every dreamer has to make. Do you quit when it hurts, or do you press on until it breaks open for you? Some people never reach their destiny not because they lack talent, but because they lack the will to keep showing up. Talent might get you started, but persistence will finish the race. Every champion has scars. Every winner has moments when they wanted to give up but didn't. Greatness does not come to those who wait passively. It comes to those who are willing to endure the process, the hardship, the nights of doubt, and still keep moving forward. Quitting is easy. Quitting feels safe. But quitting guarantees one thing: you will never know what was possible for you. There are countless people buried in the ground with untapped dreams, unwritten books, unsung songs, and unfulfilled potential, all because at some point they gave up. Don't let that be your story. Don't let the world lose out on the gift you were born to give because you decided it was too hard. Yes, it will be difficult. Yes, it will require sacrifice. But every single step you take, despite the odds, is shaping the person you're becoming. When you refuse to quit, something shifts inside you. You discover a power you didn't know you had. You find strength you didn't know was in you. You start to realize that the obstacles were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal you. Every time you choose persistence over surrender, you expand your capacity. You build resilience, you create momentum, and momentum creates breakthroughs. So the next time life pushes you down, the next time the voice of doubt screams louder than the voice of faith, remember this truth: greatness is waiting for the one who dares to keep moving. Not the fastest, not the strongest, not even the most talented, but the one who simply decides, I will not quit. That decision alone separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. That decision alone can transform your life forever. Fear is the greatest thief of dreams. It sneaks into your mind quietly, whispers doubts into your ear, and convinces you to play small when you were designed to stand tall. Fear tells you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. It paints pictures of failure before you even take the first step. And most people, instead of fighting it, listen to it. They let fear sit in the driver's seat of their lives, and before long, they end up going in circles, never daring to step outside the limits fear has drawn for them. But here's the truth. Fear is nothing more than a story you've been telling yourself. It's not a wall, it's an illusion. The moment you challenge it, you'll see it crumble. Fear feeds on hesitation. The longer you wait, the bigger it feels. The second you act, fear starts to lose its grip. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for fear to disappear before they move. But that's not how it works. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of it. Courage is standing in the storm and saying, I will not back down. Think about it. Every great achievement in history was on the other side of fear. Every inventor, every leader, every pioneer had moments when they were afraid. But they refused to let fear dictate the outcome. They use fear as fuel. Fear can either paralyze you or push you to greatness. It depends on how you respond. When you feel afraid, that's usually a sign you're on the edge of something significant. Fear is confirmation that you're stepping into territory where growth lives. Too many people let fear write the final chapter of their story. They say, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose everything? But they forget to ask, what if I succeed? What if people are inspired by me? What if I change my life and the lives of others forever? Fear focuses on what you can lose, while faith focuses on what you can gain. Which voice will you listen to? The moment you stop letting fear control you is the moment your life begins to change. You'll find yourself walking into rooms you never thought you belonged in, having conversations you never thought you were worthy of, and doing things you once thought were impossible. You'll realize that fear was never as big as you imagined. It was your belief in it that gave it power. So today, make a decision. Don't run from fear, face it. Don't let it shrink your dreams, let it sharpen your determination. Every time fear shows up, tell it, you will not stop me. I am bigger than this. Because the truth is, fear is temporary, but regret is forever. And if you allow fear to win, you'll never forgive yourself for not even trying. But if you fight through it, you'll find freedom. Failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone. Every time you fall, every time you stumble, every time you hit the ground, you are being given a lesson, a gift, a chance to rise stronger. The problem is, most people see failure as a tombstone instead of a milestone. They take it as a sign to stop instead of a signal to keep moving forward. They let one rejection define their worth. They let one setback convince them they're not cut out for greatness. But failure is not a verdict, it's feedback. When you fail, life is asking you a simple question: how badly do you want it? Do you want it enough to get back up when you've been knocked down? Do you want it enough to wipe the dirt off your face, dry the tears from your eyes, and try again? Do you want it enough to look at your mistakes not as dead ends, but as directions towards something better? Failure doesn't mean you're finished. Failure means you found a way that didn't work, and now you're closer to discovering the way that will. Think about the people we celebrate. Think about inventors, artists, leaders, athletes. Every single one of them faced failure after failure. They had doors slammed in their faces, critics tearing them apart, friends doubting them, circumstances working against them. But they didn't quit. They understood that failure was part of the process. Failure was the tuition they had to pay to learn the lessons of success. You cannot buy wisdom in a store. You earn it through trial, error, and persistence. The truth is, failure introduces you to your real self. When things go wrong, that's when you discover what you're truly made of. Anyone can smile when the sun is shining, but it takes strength to keep walking in the dark. Failure reveals your resilience. It shows you that you can bend without breaking, that you can fall and still rise, that you can be bruised but not broken. Every failure is preparing you for the weight of success. Without it, you would never develop the muscles you need to carry the victory. Stop being afraid to fail. Stop trying to play it safe, avoiding mistakes, avoiding risks. Playing it safe is the biggest failure of all, because you'll never know what you could have achieved if you had just dared to try. You'll never know how far you could have gone if you hadn't let the fear of falling keep your feet glued to the ground. If you want to win big, you've got to be willing to lose big along the way. So embrace failure. Welcome it as a teacher. Learn from it, grow from it, and let it fuel your determination. Because one day, when you stand on the mountain of your success, you'll look back at every failure and realize they weren't obstacles. They were the path. They weren't there to stop you, they were there to shape you. And you'll be grateful for every stumble, every scar, every setback, because they all work together to make you who you are. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to live their best life. But few are willing to pay the price that success demands. And the price is discipline. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies. They sound good in your head. They look good written down, but without daily action, without consistency, without sacrifice, they vanish like smoke. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the excitement has left you. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Feelings are fleeting. They come and go like the weather. One moment you're motivated, the next you're tired. One day you're fired up, the next you don't feel like moving at all. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. It cares about commitment. You can't trust your moods, but you can trust discipline. Discipline says, get up anyway. Discipline says, do it anyway. Discipline says, show up whether you feel like it or not. And every time you honor discipline over your excuses, you take one step closer to your destiny. Success is never about what you do occasionally. It's about what you do consistently. One workout won't transform your body. One book won't change your mind. One speech won't shift your life. But discipline, practiced daily, compounds over time. It turns small actions into massive results. Just like a river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence, discipline cuts through obstacles because it refuses to stop. You've got to train yourself like a warrior. Discipline your mind to think stronger thoughts. Discipline your body to endure the strain. Discipline your spirit to stand tall when life tries to break you. There will be distractions, temptations, and moments when quitting looks easier than continuing, but discipline whispers, stay focused, stay the course. The world is full of talented people who never reach their potential, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked discipline. Talent might get you started, but only discipline will keep you going. Discipline is not punishment, it is power. It's not about restricting your life, it's about unlocking your freedom. When you discipline yourself to save money, you create financial freedom. When you discipline yourself to exercise, you create health freedom. When you discipline yourself to learn, you create mental freedom. Discipline may feel hard in the moment, but regret is much harder. You can either suffer the pain of discipline now, or the pain of regret later. The choice is always yours. So commit today to live by discipline. Decide that your actions will not be dictated by laziness, fear, or procrastination, but by the vision you hold for your life. Wake up earlier, work harder, stay longer, push further. Discipline is the grind, the sweat, the sacrifice, but it is also the glory. Because when discipline and determination meet, nothing can stop you from building the life you deserve. Legacy is not something you leave for people, it's something you leave in them. Every choice you make, every word you speak, every action you take, it all leaves a mark. The question is, what kind of mark will it be? Too many people live as though their life is only about them, but greatness is not measured by what you achieve for yourself. Greatness is measured by what you inspire in others, by the lives you impact, by the seeds you plant that continue to grow long after you're gone. When you're gone, nobody will remember the car you drove or the clothes you wore. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember whether you lifted them up or tore them down. They'll remember if you lived with courage, with integrity, with compassion. That's legacy. And the truth is, you are writing your legacy right now, whether you realize it or not. Every day is a page in your book. Every decision is a sentence. Every interaction is a paragraph. And when the book of your life is closed, what will the story say? Legacy is built in the small moments. It's the parent who works tirelessly to give their children opportunities they never had. It's the teacher who believes in the student everyone else gave up on. It's the stranger who offers kindness when no one else would. These are the moments that ripple far beyond the present, touching lives in ways you may never see. Don't underestimate the power of your influence. Someone is watching you right now, learning from you, being shaped by your example. You've got to ask yourself, am I living a life that will outlive me? Because legacy is not about duration, it's about donation. Some people live 80 years and touch no one, while others live 30 years and ignite a generation. What matters is not how long you live, but how deep your impact goes. You don't need millions in the bank to create a legacy. You need a heart willing to serve, a voice willing to speak truth, and the courage to live authentically. Your legacy is tied to purpose. When you walk in purpose, you give others permission to do the same. When you persevere through trials, you teach others how to endure. When you refuse to settle, you challenge others to rise higher. Your life becomes a message that echoes beyond your time. And understand this, you don't have to be perfect to leave a legacy. You just have to be real. People don't remember flawless, they remember genuine. They remember those who showed up, who fought through the pain, who stood for something even when it wasn't easy. So today, decide to live with legacy in mind. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow isn't promised. Pour yourself fully into today. Love deeply, give generously, forgive freely, inspire relentlessly. Live in such a way that when people speak your name, they say, because of them, I didn't give up. Because of them, I believed again. Because of them, I found my strength. That is legacy, and it is waiting for you to create it.